So I wasn't too satisfied with our last water chiller build. So I figure, let's try again and make it the way we want it this time. Hi everybody, I'm Alex, and this is the Renaissance Builder. you like what you see, make sure to subscribe. And watch till the end of the video. There'll be a couple recommendations for other videos you might like to watch. Check it out. Alright, so we're here in my Suburban. Don't mind the mess. Because the whole point of this water chiller based air conditioner is that, well, I had one viewer specifically ask, hey, can I use the dry ice in my vehicle that doesn't have air conditioning? And I'm like, that's probably not a good idea because you're putting concentrated CO2, which isn't poisonous in itself, but a lot of it, and you don't have oxygen, which is a bad thing. So, because you're putting concentrated CO2 into a small environment, it's very unhealthy, to say the least. But, so the dry ice isn't a good idea, but the water chiller is. I wasn't particularly satisfied with the water chiller unit that I built out of the ice chest air conditioner because it just was kind of, it was rigged. So I was like, let's build a dedicated one, which is why we're doing this in the first place. But for everybody out there that wants to air condition a small space very inexpensively, and like, say you're living in your van, you know, hashtag van life, right? So say you're living in your van, or you just have a circumstance where you need air conditioning in a small space because it's too hot. This is perfect for that. That's why I created this unit. So here we are in my Suburban to test it out and give you real world evidence of how this thing works. So starting out right now, I have my thermometer reading the general air temperature in here, and I'm measuring 105 degrees. I don't know if you can see that focus or whatnot, but yeah, 105 degrees in this here Suburban. Now, 3 bags of ice and 1 gallon of ice water. I don't recommend just filling it, putting the ice in and filling with water. The more water you add, the more BTUs you're already adding, or the more heat you're already adding to your heat soak. You want that as cold as possible because that's what's going to absorb your heat, all the ice in there. You need the water because the pump needs water to make the system work. So you got to add a little bit of water to get it started. But as the ice melts, obviously you have more water. So just start off with 1 gallon of ice water in there so that you're not adding any more heat to your heat soak. And that's why you saw that. That's why we added the ice water. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this thing in and start her up. Now the first thing you might notice is you can hear a little bit of you know, knocking around. That's the ice actually floating around because of the water movement in there. But that's about it. Like you hear a small hum either from the fan or the pump, and that's it. It's very quiet, which is another thing I like. So I'm going to take my thermometer here and measure the outgoing air temperature. Uh-oh. Okay. So, don't use that fan. The bloody thing's just stopped working. All right. So that fan's out, but I have a backup plan. I'll be right back. Well, we're not going to use that fan again, but backup plan, we're using our Milwaukee for now. I'm going to find some other fans that'll work better in there. Yeah, we'll figure that out. But for now, we're using the Milwaukee to prove, you know, that this thing actually works. So what I'm going to do, the fan's on low setting because, again, we want it to be quiet. We're going to let this thing run, and I want this thing to run. I'm going to let it run until the ice completely melts inside that cooler. Once the ice is completely melted, most of your heat soak is already used up. For one, that'll tell us how long it takes the ice to melt. It's 3 bags of ice, so that'll tell us how long it takes the ice to melt, as well as how effective, when we take the measurement of the temperature, then how effective this unit really is. So we'll do a little time lapsing, and I'll see you guys in a couple seconds. All right, let's see where this air is at so far. this ice is at. Oh, look at that. We're actually almost melted, and it's only an hour later. Oh, that doesn't bode well for how long it lasts. Does bode well for how effective it is, though. So let's give it another, let's check it in 30 minutes. We'll see where it's at. All right. So the ice is finally melted. And, you know, I would really love to say that this thing worked a lot better than it did. But, unfortunately, it's only been an hour and a half. So, I mean, it was over 100 degrees, so that's obviously going to melt the ice a lot faster. And that's, so, extreme circumstances, but it only took an hour and a half to melt 3 bags of ice in there. So that's, on the bright side, that's a lot of BTUs that's getting absorbed into that water, or that ice. Well, the water specifically, yes. Yeah. So there's a lot of BTUs getting absorbed into the water. Also, we dropped, let's see, it's 93 degrees in here. So you can see now, I'll show you up there, that 92. So it's still dropping. So we dropped over 10 degrees. So that is an accurate representation of how well this thing works. I'm going to put some research in to find better fans to use on this thing, since that fan took a crap and it's a piece of junk. So I'll find better fans and put them through some testing to make sure they actually hold up and stay working. There you go, guys. Ice chest chiller based unit, air conditioner for you. If this is something you guys are interested in, feel free to reproduce it yourself. If you want to know the parts list, I might actually go on, I might actually post the parts list for this thing, or the instructions, more detailed instructions on my Patreon page. Otherwise, message me, put it in the comments. You want to know the parts list, I'll get it to you. Yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully it was useful. And go ahead, if you liked it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Go ahead and subscribe. We have, I definitely have another idea. So the CO2 based, not CO2, the dry ice based air conditioner, I have a new design with a new cooler that will definitely work in closed spaces. With, you have to vent it, there will be a vent line, but that one you'll be able to use in closed spaces, and maybe that one will actually work better than this one. We'll see. But definitely going to make another dry ice based unit, so you might find that interesting. And definitely stay tuned. Hit that bell icon if you want to be notified when the future videos come out. Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. I appreciate all you guys and all your attention and everything that you do for the channel. I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you very much. You guys have a good night.
Bye-bye.